Hello everyone, I am Nikita. Start today amazing topic Unit 2 Control and Coordination MYP4 and the topic name is homeostasis. So welcome back to our class. Today we are going to learn about a very important concept in bio that is homeostasis. So imagine it like your body, personal air conditioner, it keeps everything balanced. So in our body, we have a one mechanism which balancing everything, temperature, pH, water concentration in the body, everything maintained, and these mechanism is called the homeostasis. It is the maintenance of a stable internal environment despite the change in external condition. No matter what is the atmospheric external condition, body always maintains itself. So it regulates body temperature, blood glucose level, water balance. So essential. Why homeostasis need? As we know, it help to maintain and all the function, help to maintain all the condition. Which kind of condition? Internal. Internal such as pH level of the blood, blood pressure maintenance. It's like a blood glucose level maintenance, temperature regulation, all of these things maintained by the homeostasis mechanism. Let's understand by this image how actually homeostasis mean. So, if we look in the figure on the left side, so on the left side, we see a situation where temperature is going to be very increased or high temperature. Assume it's 450 degrees Celsius. So what has happened in this case? It's hot outside. The stimulus is detected by receptors. So receptor are something which receive signal. We already discussed which receive signal. Receptor present on the human skin, on the skin sends these stimulus of high temperature sends to the brain, the sensor part of the human body. These receptors sense the heat and send message to control center, which is a brain. Yes, without any doubt, it's a brain. Commanding organ. The brain act as the sensor process the information. So brain process the information and send signal through a feedback loop of effector. So what is a effector? Effector is kind of a gland, it's an organ which responds. So effect comes through motor neuron. In which form of neuron? Motor neuron gives signal, leads to sweating of the body. So sweating and the vasodilation. This thing happen and again body able to maintain the temperature 37 degree Celsius. So now come on the right side of the image. On the right side the temperature drops. Assume the temperature is minus 5 degrees Celsius. Again the receptor in the skin detect this change. So receptor detect the change sent to the commanding center of body which is brain. The brain process and it sends a message to the effector organ, and these muscles may cause shivering. So look the image of the muscle starts shivering. Shivering leads to generation of heat. Also it's cause vasoconstriction. Constriction. Now let's understand in depth what's the meaning of vasodilation and vasoconstriction. So let's discuss the term thermoregulation. As the word suggests itself, thermo means temperature, regulation means how we regulate it. Regulate it. So maintain the core body temperature which is 37 degrees Celsius controlled by the hypothalamus. It's a very important question. Which part of the brain control the temperature? That is hypothalamus. It's a temperature regulatory organ. Temperature regulatory portion of the body. So mechanism, we have two mechanism. First is vasodilation, second is vasoconstriction. Let's focus on the word, split the word vaso. Vaso is related for the blood vessel and dilation means widens. So if our this is normal blood vessel diameter, if body dilate it, increase in the girth, increase in the diameter, it means it's a vasodilation, and vasodilation leads to increasing heat loss. So it's leads to increasing the heat loss from the body. Come on the term vasoconstriction. Vaso for the blood vessel and constriction means narrowing. Like this is normal blood vessel. So blood vessel going to be shrink or narrow, decreasing the diameter. Here the diameter is going to be increased. And this leads to reduce heat loss, or we can say conserve heat. Now, let's understand how body do it. So this is a main temperature controlling organ which is called the hypothalamus. So on the first scenario, heat. So stimulus comes with for the hot or heat. Thermoreceptor sends signals to hypothalamus. Hypothalamus activates SNS. SNS stands for somatic nervous system. So the nervous system, the somatic nervous system sends the signal to the skin, gland, sweat gland. Sweat gland activate. During the activation of the sweat gland, release lots of sweat, which leads to the cooling effect. On the other hand, the hair follicle, muscle of the hair follicle going to be relaxed, means it's normal state. And the third one is vasodilation. Look, if it is a normal diameter of the blood vessel, the blood vessel diameter going to be dilate or widens. And these all thingy takes place in case of when external temperature is too hot. Why this scenario take place? To maintain normal temperature of the body, which is 37 degrees Celsius. On the other hand, if the cold is the temperature drops very low, like -1, -10 degrees Celsius. So in this case, what happens? Stimulus comes, thermoreceptor sends the signal, sends to hypothalamus. Hypothalamus activate and sends signal toward the skeletal muscle. Now skeletal muscle shows involuntary contraction. It leads to shivering. On the other hand, we have goosebumps in winter season. Why? The hair follicle muscles is constrict, leading to goosebumps. On the other hand, the blood vessel diameter going to be decreased. These called the vasoconstriction. So this is the scenario for the heat. This is the scenario for the cold. How body react in hot and cold condition. These process to maintain our body temperature called the thermoregulation. Who maintains the body temperature? Of course, hypothalamus. So let's study vasodilation. The blood vessel near the skin widens. More blood flow near the surface leads to more heat loss. More heat loss. So more heat loss helpful in case of a summer. Heat is lost through radiation. Come on the vasoconstriction, blood vessel near the skin narrow. So blood vessel decrease their diameter, diameter going to be decreased, here the diameter going to be increased. Less blood flow near the surface leads to conserve heat in the body. It's helpful for the winter. It's helpful for the summer. Easy. Come on the another topic, glucose control. Yes, we know everyone, everybody eats food for survival, food for getting glucose. And these glucose come in the blood plasma, right? Blood plasma. Now in blood plasma, it's just like that. This is a blood vessel. This is the RBC cells and the assume the star shape is glucose. This glucose concentration in blood plasma is very high. So it leads to be high blood sugar level. If, on the other hand, the amount of glucose is very less, so it's cause less blood sugar level. Both will be harmful for us. So the normal blood glucose level in a person, in an adult, that is 90 mg per deciliter, controlled by the pancreas. Come on the organ or the gland. So let's tell me what is a gland. In our upcoming video, we will also learn about the gland thing. So gland, it's a kind of a organ. It's a kind of a organ which makes hormone. This thing, hormone. So pancreas, it's a kind of a gland which makes some chemical, which makes some hormone, which act as a chemical messenger. So hormone are the chemical messenger, carry some message. Pancreas makes two kind of a hormone. Kind 1, insulin, lower the blood glucose level. Glucagon, raise blood glucose level in the blood. First concept, you have to understand how these glucose present in the blood plasma by consuming the food. So let's understand how the things work. So come for the pancreas. Yes, pancreas, it's a kind of a gland. Pancreas had two kind of a cell, alpha cell and for beta cell. Followed my ink, it's a alpha, it's a beta. So alpha always make hormone called glucagon. Alpha cells make glucagon while beta cells make the insulin. Insulin cell work to decrease the blood sugar level, whereas glucagon function is antagonistic to the insulin. So it's always increase blood sugar level. So what happen if someone blood sugar level going to be very high, very high, above 90 mg per deciliter. So form pancreas makes insulin. Insulin help. Insulin target the liver. In the liver, these glucose convert into the glycogen, and the glycogen, it's a macromolecule, whereas the glucose, it's a micromolecule. So glucose continuously converted into the glycogen, so the amount of glucose in the blood going to be decreased. Why? Because liver continuously convert these glucose into glycogen. So liver help to store the glucose in the form of the glycogen. This leads to lowering the blood sugar level. On the other hand, if someone are on diet, not consuming the sugary thing, then pancreas activate alpha cells. Alpha cells make glucagon. Glucagon go and add on its receptors. Now liver receiving a message to continuously convert the glycogen into the glucose. Continuously conversion of the glycogen into the glucose leads to be high blood sugar level, and it's help to raise blood sugar. So this is how the both the hormone helps to maintain the amount of blood sugar level. On the other hand, the gland also play a major role. Why? Because gland makes the hormone thing. Let's understand in depth what is the role of the insulin. We know insulin, it's a kind of a hormone. It is produced by the pancreas. It's released by the beta cells of the pancreas. Yes. So release when blood sugar is high. Someone eat very much amount of sugar, so its blood sugar level going to be very high. On this time, person pancreas release the insulin, promote uptake of glucose into the cell. how this is work. So assume it's a cell. So insulin come, the dot shape insulin come, add on receptors like this. These receptors open the cell gate, and the cell gate open entry. It will entry the glucose inside the cell, or we can say uptake of glucose inside the cell from the blood plasma. So every glucose molecule, each glucose molecule present in the blood plasma moved inside the cell, leading to decrease the blood sugar level in blood plasma content. Third, convert glucose to glycogen stored in liver and muscle. Result, blood glucose level is decreased. On the other hand, glucagon, it's also a kind of a hormone produced by the pancreas, and pancreas alpha cells make the glucagon. Its work against the insulin. It helpful when blood sugar level is very low in the body, stimulate conversion of the glycogen into glucose. This thing happen inside the liver, right? Glucose into the blood. So what is happen? This is a cell. Assume the triangle shaped is glucagon. Now the glucagon attached with receptor, then they block. They don't allow glucose in goes inside the cells. So the amount of glucose automatically increase in the blood plasma, right? So result is blood glucose level increase. So this is how body maintain blood sugar level or glucose level maintained up to 90 mg per deciliter. Come on to another amazing topic, osmoregulation. Now, what's the meaning of osmoregulation? Osmoregulation, it means maintains blood and salt concentration in the blood. So it maintains amount of water and salt balance in the blood controlled by the organ named kidney, right? Hormone involved is ADH. So each and every homeostasis somehow related to the hormone and the endocrine system. In our upcoming session, we will clearly look the endocrine part of human body. So ADH stand for antidiuretic hormone. What is the function of it? So it control urine concentration, how much urine is produced, retain water when body is dehydrated, remove excess water when overhydrated. Let's assume so. Okay. For let's deal with about dehydration. How the dehydration thing happens. In our first scenario, we will look the dehydration. In case of dehydration in blood, dehydration is when in blood amount of H2O concentration becomes very low. In this case, the signal carried and sensed by the receptors present in kidney. Now kidney times to make ADH hormone, antidiuretic hormone. These hormone absorb the excess water and salt from the urine, from the urine thing. We know already urine, it's a kind of a fluid which contains the ammonia, which contains the like toxic substance, urea, water, salt, etc. Now this urine, all the water and the salt absorbed by the ADH, absorbed by the kidney due to the action of the ADH hormone and put in the blood back. So blood having water leads to maintain normal water and salt concentration in body, right? This is for action for dehydration. In case of the overhydration, what body do? So in case of overhydration, body sense kidney don't make ADH. If ADH is not released, no absorption of H2O and salt, and it will leads to dilute urine. Right, this is how body able to maintain its mechanism. Let's do some question. What is homeostasis? Maintenance of constant internal environment. This is called the homeostasis. What happened during vasodilation? So blood vessels widens. Which hormone lowered blood glucose levels? So which hormone lowers insulin? Role of glucagon increase lower blood pressure, increase glucose uptake by cells, convert glycogen into the glucose. Which organ control osmoregulation? Kidney, obviously. Thank you. This is it for today. We will meet in the next session with amazing topic. Take care. See you.